but this is the dreaded question that Danielle's been worried about for the last couple months.
I did not think months. I didn't think you said the word months.
Months. Since at least the 2 panel. But this is a question that I like to ask all of the numbers because I think it's really important for us to be aware of. But what do you feel like are your challenges in relationships, and what do you feel like are your strengths? Like, what do you bring to relationships? And these can be intimate, like romantic relationships, or they can be friendships, or like you mentioned, parenting relationships. But any of these relationships, what do you feel like you bring that is a real asset, and then what are some of the struggles?
I was dreading the gifts portion of the question. But challenges, that's easy. I'm very challenging.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I embody that push-pull thing like to the max. Not in romantic relationships is where I do it. Like so much, I'm a pill, and I don't mean to do it, and it's just something that is just like in me. Like if someone is too close, I don't want you, and all I can see is the way that that you're like limiting me. And also the way that you are like somehow so flawed, and then you're preventing me from having someone who could be less flawed and more perfect for me in particular. But then, I did. Yeah, so I do that hardcore. I want you, I don't want you. And so knowing that about myself made it really hard for me to like think about, well, what gifts do I bring? Because this is a bitch. And then all the things that I could think of that were gifts were really, I think, had more to do with maybe my subtype, which is self-pres, and or like my Capricorn nature, which is like I am a worker. I will keep the house running. I will keep things going. Like I am a practical person. And so, that's a gift in a relationship to have someone to rely on in that way, but I don't really think that has to do with my fourness. And so like looking at it through that lens, I had a really hard time with this question. And then I was thinking about, well, if this were only the gifts that I bring in my relationship with myself, like if there were no one else to consider, what are the gifts that I bring to my relationship with myself? And like, honestly, it was just like, that opened it up for me so much. And I was just like, well, everything. Like, I am a fun person to be. I enjoy being myself because I enjoy the way that I interact with the world. It's like, I really like the lens that I see the world through. And so that's a gift that I bring, I guess, to every relationship, is just that I offer someone else an opportunity to see the world the way that I see it, which I think is a valuable thing. Yeah. Thank you.
You're inspiring everyone. Everyone's like, I am awesome too. That was awesome. Man, I wish Abel were here. Or maybe it's better that they're not here. I think I will start with negative. Or what are they, challenges?
Yeah, challenges.
Areas of improvement. I don't know if this was a 4 thing. But I'm pretty perfectionistic. Like,
I think that counts as a 4.
okay, I'm not really sure. I haven't really thought about it because I still dabble in MBTI, so I'm like that. Anyway, yes, like it definitely commingles with my hypersensitivity. Like, yeah, and you can see how that can manifest within a relationship. It's like, we're chilling, we're all good, but I'm like, we could be better. Let's talk about it, babe. And it's like, that's really sucky to like work all day and have your partner, you just want to come home and cuddle, and your partner's like, this didn't happen, this didn't get done. What can we do together to get this done? Like that's really like I get that, and I like how Danielle was talking about, like, it's just in me. Like, I can be conscious and I can do practices and it's gotten better, but it's in me and it's coming from a very good place. It's not really coming from a place where I want to ruin the relationship. It's just, something that I see, and it's actually beneficial in life coaching work when I'm working one-on-one, where people are like, this is not working, what can I do? And I can totally get an impression, like an intuitive impression of like, hey, this is your best next step, and I'm very clear on that, and I can support other people with it. So that's beneficial. But in my romantic relationship, I really have been working to kind of just really focus again on the joys of it. And I think my best gift, I'll just say one of each, is I'm super authentic. I think for the most part, when people can, if I've eaten and I feel like talking to people, they enjoy being with me because I really have a space for them to be their authentic self. Anything that people bring to me, I think they talk about fours like this. You can bring me your darkest thing and I'll be like, man, I'm really sorry about that. And like I can just, it doesn't have to be like a flaw for the person. I can be a space for anything almost that people can bring to me, and it comes so naturally to me where I perceive other people, they have to work at it. And for me, it's so naturally to be with like the darkest, nastiest parts of other people, because that's just the full human spectrum. What's hard is in relationships, I've expected other people to be that savvy, and they've been very burdened by me unleashing things. So it's a gift when you find a good partner where you're just like, it doesn't mean that they're not loving me if they don't want to hear every emotion that I have. Right? So that's been cool to be like, hey, I'm going to share this with this person because they're able to do that, and I can take care of myself enough to be supportive of my partner in the way that they need. So it's been fun.
Thank you.
I think a negative thing is the constant emotion and just wanting, if there's a conflict, wanting to fight right then, and not giving any space for the other person, the way they process conflict, the way they process their emotions, but just being like, why aren't you engaging me right now? And so I've benefited from learning about the other types so that I can learn just like how they process their emotions, how they process conflict, so that I can kind of not rein it in all the way, but just give space and like grace for that. And I hate saying that, grace.
Can you use that one soundbite with a board?
Something beneficial, I think, would be, I'm distracted, would be, I thought along the lines of like, being empathetic and just having space for people to be themselves and struggle and not be afraid of it, and not be afraid of what people are going through. I think that's just a theme that's come up a lot in my life.